Hi, my beauties. So, I thought I'll do another story time. This one's just going to be random things. I really didn't have a plan starting out. But one of the things that bugs me is those ads for cereal practicing cannibalistic tendencies. You really want to eat a cereal that's eating itself? I don't. I watch the, what is it, Crave? Where it's got like the chocolate center. You know, and one's always like chasing another, or is it, it might be Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I don't know. It's one of those. And the little piece of cereal is running, chasing other pieces. And then when he clamps down, he's all, yum yum. You just ate one of your friends. Not cool. Or, you know, like the mini wheats helping the kids get ready for school and everything. And it's like, my mini wheats is talking to me. I'm either going to the hospital to check myself in, or I'm going straight back to bed. Same thing with the talking Pop-Tarts. I'm like, why do Pop-Tarts talk? But that's just one thing. On a more serious note, trying to figure out this body shaming. We're trying to change how girls think. Because we're taught at a very young age, you've got to be thin, you've got to be pretty, you've got to be charming, you've got to be all of this if you want to get anywhere in life. We see it in advertisements, okay, where you see a model, and what you see the model in, even if you're thin and you go to get it, it's not going to look right, because they're not even wearing a size 0. They're starving themselves. And I love that, like, Dove is trying to be more realistic. And you're seeing more women that are curvier. Now, of course, they're not showing women that are obese. Okay? Mainly because they don't want to promote, you know, anything that could be unhealthy. But you can still have some meat and curves and be healthy. You can even be obese and be healthy. Having the excess weight just increases your chances of something that is very unhealthy. But what I don't understand is, as women, females, why we are sitting there looking at someone and saying, oh, you shouldn't be wearing that. That just really makes you look fat. It's what we're trying to get away from. We should be lifting each other up, not tearing each other down. You know, the snide remarks, you know, and even the backhanded compliments of, you have such a pretty face. Or, you'd be so pretty if you lost weight. Or, you would be pretty if you just smiled more. Or if you learned how to do makeup, or if you did your hair a certain way. These are all things that are embedded into us. And you know, we do this, and it's so harmful. We're doing it to kids. We're telling them, you've got to lose weight now. Their brains are still trying to develop. So things can get warped, and they end up with an eating disorder. And a misconception about eating disorders, it's not really about the food. It goes much deeper. It's about having that control. The one thing you can truly control is the food going in and the food going out. So, when everything else around you is in chaos, you've got that one thing. Now, sometimes it starts with wanting to lose weight and thinking, well, I really like to eat, so I'll eat and I'll just throw up. Each time that you get sick like that, you're doing damage in your throat. It's very acidic, so it's coming up and it's burning along the way. And whereas, you know, you do that once or twice a year, or if you're pregnant for a few months, that's not doing that much damage. But when you're doing it for a year, 2 years, 3, you're doing so much damage. Same thing with the laxatives. You're doing damage to the intestines, to the colon. You know, and then with anorexia, when, you know, like with me, a big part of my problem, at 13, I got in the habit of not eating breakfast. Wasn't going to do it. And, you know, because it was like a thing. Everybody was doing that. And I wanted to be part of that. So I stopped eating breakfast. And at one point, my mom thought I had an eating disorder. Because she did herself. She had anorexia. I've seen her go like weeks without hardly eating anything. But when I was 14, from about 10 to 14, as I was coming into puberty, I got really chubby. When I was 14, I tried out for the flag corps, and I got it. Well, I don't know how many of you have actually been to a band camp, But the band that I was in was very, very competitive. I mean, we practiced Monday through Friday. We didn't have Friday night games because they had tore up the field to redo it. So we had to do our home games at local schools, and because they had their games going on, oftentimes our games were on Saturday. You know, and away games, you know, we didn't play because that was for that school's band to do. And you know, and we did competitions on Saturday. Sometimes we did them on Sunday too. And we were going everywhere. So sometimes it would take, you know, an hour, 2 hours to get to a competition. But being that active, it just fell off. That and the fact that school was about 2 miles. I valued my sleep. So I would often miss the bus. Well, there was no going home and asking Mom to get up and take me. So I'd walk the 2 miles. A lot of my friends lived about 2 miles away, so I would walk to my friend's house. So I had all this walking on top of the physical activity through marching band. And the weight just went off, and I'm about 5'4.5" in height. I went down to 110 in my weight. Now, I would like to sit here and tell you I'm big boned and all that. I have a very small frame, which has been a big problem with this much weight because the small frame can only handle so much. About 115 is where I looked good. 110 was too thin. And I was told, you know, you look very sick. And so my mom, because often I would have to go to the bathroom after dinner, she got to where she's like, if you got to go, you go now. Because you're not going for a while after dinner. And, you know, she did realize that wasn't a problem for me because I was eating. I was eating a lot. You know, I'd have a sleeve of crackers. Sometimes I'd put butter on the crackers. And I'd have Kool-Aid. And that was a snack. A whole sleeve like that. That was a snack. You know, plus, you know, eating lunch, eating dinner. Then, if you watched one of my videos, you kind of know what happened, but I had something really horrible happen when I was 15. And I felt it had a lot to do with my looks. I was always told, oh, you know, you're so pretty and all this, and I was told, you know, you have a figure to die for. I started eating. That is the third food disorder, eating disorder. Anytime I felt bad, I was eating. but I wasn't active. So slowly, you know, like, it wasn't real bad because, you know, we had moved and the band wasn't as competitive, so I got into cheerleading. And I was about 150, give or take. So, you know, little on the thick side. But it still wasn't bad. After school, you know, I put on another 20 pounds. I stayed that way through my marriage and all that. Then I got pregnant. But the cool thing was, because when I got pregnant with my son, I kept, you know, watching the scales. I'm like, don't go to 2, don't go to 2. Because I was so afraid that if it got to 2, I'd never get back under. I went to 204. And then something really fun happened. Within the 6 weeks, I lost every bit of the weight that I gained with him, plus 10 pounds. I was like, there's thin chicks that can't do this. You know, and I was eating a lot of Taco Bell because it was cheap and I didn't have time to do anything because my son was like, mommy snack machine on the hour, every hour. And then suddenly my weight spiked. I also ended up in ICU when my son was 4 months old. Turns out I had the perfect storm. My lifelong depression, postpartum depression, and I also had my thyroid thrown out of whack. About 5%. Have that happen. Can't win the lottery. By golly, I can get that. And so, you know, I ended up in the ICU. And then I had a nice nifty little vacation per the state for 3 days. It was actually 5 because I was supposed to get released on a weekend and they intimidated me into signing because they were like, we can get a court order if we need to. Just sign it, you know. But I would love to love that. I'm just not ready. You know, like I said, my weight just spiked, and that was my thyroid. Kind of watched my weight when I got pregnant with my daughter. With her, I only gained like around 16 pounds. In fact, the amniotic fluid was low, so they were constantly checking me. I had to go to the high-risk clinic. Finally, they released me to my doctor, said it was okay, right before she was born. And you know, I find myself sometimes, I'll see someone and I'm like, I don't say anything to them, but like to my husband, I'll say, you know, she really shouldn't be wearing that because of her weight. She needs to wear more appropriate clothing. Even if the woman is so confident and just rocking it out. And now I'm trying to to make sure that I don't do that, because, you know, it's not right. If you're confident in the way you look and what you're wearing, rock it out. You know, if you're not happy, make some changes, as long as they're healthy changes. And, you know, we really should be building each other up. But I can tell you one thing. Women are extremely vicious. We're vicious creatures. And, you know, we sit there and do this, and it's not even just regular people that are getting shamed. Okay? Celebrities are getting body shamed. Or, you know, for little things. Some things are within control. A lot of it is something that a person can't control. For instance, I know that my nose is big, and sadly, this is a known fact. Your nose and your ears continue to grow throughout your entire life. That's why I see a lot of old people with really big noses. So I know it's just going to keep getting bigger. But that's beyond my control. Okay? The only thing I could possibly do is go to a plastic surgeon. And I don't know if you've ever seen rhinoplasty. They actually have a chisel that they put on the bone, and they're tapping. And it's like, no, you're not doing that. So, you know, it's just something that I have to deal with. I do little things like the shadows on the sides and so forth to slim it down. My sister, on the other hand, has a much thinner nose. And she got like the perfect eyebrows. She doesn't have to pluck. I'm like, it's not right. She's like, you got the nails. Well, gee, nails are easy to go get done. But, I just don't understand why we do this, why we feel the need to do this. It's not right. We should be celebrating the beauty that's within everybody, because there is. I mean, there's some, you know, outwardly beautiful people that are very ugly on the inside. But there's a lot of people that may not have that physical attractiveness that are just such beautiful souls. And if you just took the time to get to know them, you'd find that out. And, you know, we need to stop just passing judgment. You know, it's harmful, it's hurtful. We just need to, you know, and honestly, we need to lead by example. We need to do things and have someone, you know, there's been videos, commercials, and everything where you see one person doing something really nice. Someone else sees it and thinks, I've got to do that, so they do something really nice. And if we keep doing that, it's going to catch on. So let's try to be kind to one another. on Instagram, I have this group where, we're making sure that we're supporting each other. And like, I was talking with one, I'm like, there's always something nice that you can say about somebody. Okay? I firmly believe that. There's always something nice. Even, like people I don't like and stuff. My daughter has a friend that I'm not really fond of. And there's no rhyme or reason for it. I just don't mesh with her. And, I can honestly say she has a big heart. So there's always something, even if you don't like the person, there's something there that you can, say that's positive. And if we keep doing that, things will get better. I'm not naive enough to believe that it's going to be totally eradicated, but we can make it better if we just try. So I'm going to end with that on a positive note. And if you like what you saw, ring the bell, smash the thumbs up, leave me a comment, tell your friends, because trying to hit 3 to 350 to try to do another giveaway. So, let's get that built up, build our family, and I can start giving back some more. My husband's kind of getting on me for my Sephora deliveries and Ulta and AliExpress and everything. And, I already have like 3 different things I've got to send out. And, a couple of them not so bad. But, or no, 4 things. I don't know, 3 or 4 things. But I know that one is going to be a lot to send out. So,
you don't. Before 3 months ago, anytime I called your house, or came over, or Skype, or whatever.
Let's do this so that I can tell my husband, look, I have more people I need to give. And I usually get my way, so. But with that, goodbye, my beauties.